run through the tape. In life, never give up, run through the tape.
All right, and here we are in inside Studio J in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, Shaq, and Charles Barkley. Inside the NBA, presented by Kia, comes your way just moments from now. Triumph the Insult Comic Dog stops by for a memorable appearance. And we have highlights and analysis from the experts.
We're not experts, Barney.
Next.
Only God's an expert.
It is Inside the NBA, presented by Kia, coming to you live from Studio J in Atlanta. Kenny the Jet Smith, get well soon. Unable to make it tonight. Shaq is sitting in Kenny's chair.
It's my chair, Ernie.
Charles, of course,
so all you have to do is speak
spot.
like you got the sniffles and you get to miss a week of work.
No, that's not what he's doing. And again, thanks to Kyle Lowry, who earlier this evening stepped in the pregame and in the first halftime segment. What?
Where does Kenny live at?
California.
80 degrees. How the hell you get sick? No, how you get sick?
He was in New York all weekend, too.
With the rest of us aren't sick.
Stop it, Ernie. He had 3 days off after that.
It does, just because one person's sick doesn't mean everybody has to be sick. I believe you, Jet, and get well soon. Terrific game, San Antonio and the Clippers.
It was a very good game. You know, Ernie, it was an interesting game, though, because I love the banter going on between Reggie and Marvelous about the hacker thing.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that after the highlight, because we're going to hear from DeAndre Jordan as well.
Okay.
And because I want to talk about, do we have to do something? Does the league have to do something about it? No, I said we're going to talk about it after the highlights.
Doesn't work.
After the highlights.
Doesn't work.
We're going to talk about it.
Well, don't pat
work.
yourself on the back and
don't strain something. Our highlight, I want to get into the highlight, but I understand it begins with a message from Big Baby.
It's your boy, Big Baby. I want to say hi to everybody down there in the studio, TNT, Chuck, everybody down there, man. I love you guys, man. Big Shaq, go LSU Tigers.
Wow,
there you go. There you go.
Love you too, Big Baby.
So, good start for Tim Duncan. You know how long it's been since he hit a three? November 28th, 2012.
He shot it like he knew what he was doing.
Wow.
There you go.
I hate to say it to my man Kevin McHale, but that's the greatest power for whatever right
And now, just inside the arc, he knocks that one back. Now, DeAndre Jordan, who would be front and center in this game.
You know, the thing that surprised me about Tim Duncan, man, he stayed in college for 4 years. I didn't think he was going to be very good.
So here we go, some hack of Jordan. And this coming from a guy who's shooting 41% from the line on the season, and in his last game before the All-Star break was just 12 out of 26 against the Houston Rockets.
You know what's interesting, Ernie? It doesn't look that bad. That's what's surprising.
Now remember this, Shaq? Opening night, 2008, 5 seconds into the game, Greg Popovich puts the hack of Shaq in there.
No, because I was quoted as saying that's clown basketball.
Yeah. And
the mockery of the game, it doesn't work.
Well,
doesn't work. Right?
Pop would go to it tonight in the first half and then later in the second half. Tony Parker.
I will say this, it did change momentum in this game.
Without question. Tim Duncan over Jordan, the number 2 shot blocker in the league.
Oh, get some of that. That's how you stop a guy from blocking shots.
55-52 was the halftime score. We moved to the third quarter. Tony Parker had 21 and 13 on the night.
You see, at this point, Ernie, they're up 9 points.
Jamal Crawford back to J.J. Redick.
Leave J.J. Redick open.
Like that tight shirt.
Oh, Blake wearing a medium.
Big Baby.
I like
that. 2
that.
minutes off the bench. He had 10 on the night. And then the Spurs turn it over. White shirts back the other way. And Jordan with the finish.
You know that should have been a block, too.
Marco Bellinelli trying to get in the way, and Jordan having none of it.
Oh,
my goodness.
Dance fever. Oh.
Jordan
That's a foul.
Board.
Ain't no foul. Ain't no
That's a
foul.
foul.
That's a big man rebound. Cut it out.
You can't go with
Cut it
people
out.
back like
Cut
that.
it out. You did.
Oh, man.
So here we go in the fourth quarter. And it was 98-93 Clippers when Pop went to it again.
See, Ernie, I mean, obviously he's not making them.
He went 6 for 14 before Doc would take him out of the game.
See, and you know what? He can't get frustrated either. I mean,
Get frustrated. You're messing up the game.
listen, he can't get mad if they fouling him.
Messing up the game. Once you play ball, once you be a man and play.
So you sound like a guy who thinks that there should be some kind of a change in this rule if he's messing up the game.
Listen, it's been going on like this for a long time, but what a lot of people don't understand is the only way to combat that is you have to get stopped. See,
Or make your stinking free
yeah,
throws.
well, yeah, you know, but listen, he's not a good free throw shooter, so, you know, it'd be nice if he make one.
Well, it's like Reggie said, though, in the course of the game, there's another way to combat it. Work on your free throws.
Listen, everybody can't be a great shooter like Reggie, but what it does.
Well, they don't have to be a
Doesn't have
great
to be a
shooter.
great shooter.
Can I talk? Can I talk?
Yeah, it's all right. We're just shooting this down. But we're going to talk about it at length in a
Okay.
second. So let's go back to
Obviously
the
it
game
didn't
and
work.
Chris Paul.
Obviously, it didn't work because the Clippers won.
Well,
So get what Reggie said.
And look at Jamal Crawford. The
I mean-
league leader in fourth quarter points is Jamal Crawford.
you need instant offense. Jamal's the guy. Look at this great play out the timeout, man.
Bellinelli drains it. 1 point game. 115, 114. Chris Paul working on Ginobili.
Oh, give me that.
Creates a little space.
Big shot right there.
Bottoms it out. Chris Paul, 22 and 6.
And that's the play I love more than
That was a
play.
great foul by Matt
I
Barnes.
love that play. I hate coaches who do not foul. I think you foul every single time.
Ginobili made the first and then intentionally missed the second, but they don't corral the rebound. And the Clippers corral the victory.
That was an awful try to miss, wasn't it?
It got a good bounce off the.
I know, but it didn't look like he was trying to miss.
Yeah, exactly. 119-115. The Clippers winners over the Spurs. So San Antonio took the first 2 meetings of the year. The Clippers have taken the last 2, and they have won 3 in a row. Both teams shooting over 50% in the game. Clippers win it by 4. So after the game, Rebecca Harlow talking to DeAndre Jordan.
All right, DJ, I promise I'll try not to give you a hack anytime in this interview, but geez, what was going through your mind there in the fourth quarter when they just kept coming at you?
Well, I mean, it happened in the second quarter, too. You know, it kind of slows us down, breaks down our momentum, but at the same time, you know, I got to get used to that. I have to knock them down, but at the same time, we were coming down and we were able to get stops, so, you know, the score stayed the same. We were still up, so.
Is it more gratifying for you to get a win when you know a team is trying to attack you, not only physically but mentally?
Yeah, you know, I just feel like definitely with Blake out, it's showing how much of a great team we can be. We're all getting better. We all have to step it up, and whenever Blake gets back, we'll be even better, a better team.
How proud of you were you of Crawford down the stretch there?
Man, Jamal, you know, he won us his game along with Big Baby. Those guys came in and brought us energy. Glenn was slobbering everywhere. So, you know, when those guys play like that, you know, we're pretty tough.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
And so in the last 2 games, 12 for 26 and then 10 for 28. But of course, as DeAndre Jordan does, huge on the boards. He has 18 tonight, and he's had 15 or more rebounds in a game 21 times this year. All right, so should the league do something?
I don't know, and I don't really care. But, you know, what people need to understand.
Well, just humor us because we're on television.
Listen. What people need to understand is the way to combat the hack and shack is play good defense, get some stops, especially when you're up. When you're up, you miss. The other team is banking, oh, he shoot 40%, he's going to miss 2, we can go down and get a score. If you get a stop, just like DeAndre said, then the score is where it's at. And then also, on offense, your team becomes out of rhythm. Reggie Miller knows better. He tried it. It didn't work. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it didn't. Tonight, it didn't work. It just makes a mockery of the game. Be a man. Play. Don't try to go to analytics and go to the percentage because it don't work.
Careful. They take
Don't
shots
work.
at you if you
No,
said something about analytics.
Chuckster, what do you think? Should there be some kind of a rule change or make it?
No.
Or
Hey,
Chuck,
you Chuck?
Just play.
should there be?
Well, I don't think you can change a rule because guys don't do something well. I hate to play, but you can't change a rule just because guys can't make free throws. The way to combat it is to make your free throws. It's that simple. And
listen, everybody's not a great shooter. Everybody's not going to shoot 67%. It doesn't work.
Well, that's not a great shooter. That's not a great shooter on the line. That would be passable.
Listen,
65% or something. That would probably curtail it.
Listen, I wasn't born with the great gifts that Reggie Miller was born with. You know, everybody can't be a great shooter. So, you know, just play ball.
Remember that. Can you
put your jock strap on and just go play basketball.
You know that? When he says Chuck, that's
Chuck.
me.
I'm Chuck.
You know what?
I'll rip your head off right now.
Come on, man.
I was charting this thing, too. This is interesting because it was 98-93 with about 8:15 to play when they went to the Hack-a-Shack in the Hack-a-Jordan in the fourth quarter. And by the time Doc took him out at the 4:53 mark, San Antonio had only outscored him 8-7 in that time. So they did, but it did disrupt things. They went 6-26 without a field goal. And the Clippers did in that time.
Well,
so,
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
You know, the Spurs didn't take advantage of it, but they still had a chance to win the game down the stretch. But to get back to the point, I don't think you can take it out the game just because they don't do it well. The biggest problem the Clippers got is the playoffs because they're going to foul him in the playoffs. He's a terrific player. I mean, think about it. He's getting 20 rebounds a night. That's very impressive. He's got 20-20 twice in the last couple of weeks. But it's a flaw, you know, and this is why I want more from Blake, because Blake you're gonna have to take DeAndre out sometime, and that's when Blake has got to force his will upon the other power forwards.
And that plays into tonight when Greg Popovich goes up against a Clipper team that has no Blake Griffin in there, and then just kind of waited, and eventually Doc Rivers had to pull him. Meantime, this just coming down to us, we have Greg Popovich talking about his strategy tonight.
Well, you know, it's a rule. I hate it. I hate doing it, but it's a rule, and free throws are part of the game. So that's a whole lot better than chasing Chris Paul around all day.
So there you go.
Part of the game. It's a strategy. I mean,
just like he said, he don't want to. He don't want to chase Chris Paul around, so he's being soft. He's saying, let's foul a guy.
It's not about being soft. There's strategy.
I said, no, it's not just soft. Let me tell you something about strategy. Put your jock strap on and you play me like a man. That's strategy. All that stuff, it didn't work. Did it work? It didn't work. My point exactly. I'm mad because it didn't work.
I think you're a little sensitive.
You're right, I am.
I think more than a little sensitive.
I'm just saying that, you know, everybody talk about strategy and not being a good free throw shooter. It didn't work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
You not have a dog as a little kid growing up.
Yeah, you.
Come on, man.
It didn't work.
You can't be sensitive.
I'm not. I'm just saying it don't work. You know, everybody want to play strategy. Why don't you just play ball? It's called basketball, not basket strategy. You play ball. Why don't you be a man? Pull your pants up, be a man and play.
Okay, and put your
They don't do that at the park. They don't do that at the
YMCA.
They don't do that at the Boys and Girls Club. We play.
The Mavs.
We play.
Mavs.
That's what we do.
Let's watch some basket strategy.
Yeah, they don't want to do no strategy.
Come on, man.
Most of the strategists lose.
Oh, there's the 1-2 punch for OKC, and there's the All-Star Game MVP, Russell Westbrook, going to work early. The Mavs shot only 29% in the first half. Nothing falling for Dallas at the peak in OKC. Chandler Parsons and Tyson Chandler and all kinds of Chandlers over, nothing's falling.
Tell you what, you know, it's going to be interesting how they play when they get Amari Stoudemire, man. The West, it was arms race out there today.
Look at the feed from Russell Westbrook to Serge.
See, I love to see Serge Ibaka playing in the paint.
Yep.
He become a big 7-foot jump shooter that really hurt this team.
Anthony Morrow, never bashful from out there, knocks it down from the promised land. And
Anthony Morrow better get him up before the mother boys get to town.
That's so beautiful when you just go out and play.
Just
go out and play.
Hey, man,
Durant.
You want a cookie?
No, I don't want no cookie. I'm just
You're just upset tonight.
You are. I just want everybody to let you know you're soft. If you got to go to strategy, you're soft.
You got a little edge. For a rule that's saying. For a rule.
Hey, you got to go to strategy. You soft to me. That's all I'm saying.
For a rule that doesn't bother you, you're pretty pissed off.
No, I'm just saying. Everybody talking about strategy.
Want me to call Dr. Phil?
You ain't got to call nobody.
You go ahead. Come on, man.
Yeah, that just means you soft to me. They don't do strategy when you got the Boys and Girls Club. They play. They don't do strategy when you got the YMCA. When you at the park, we just play.
There's Mitch
Just pull them up, string them up tight, and play.
There's Mitch McGarry off the deflection, puts it home.
I don't want to hear all that. Just play.
Obviously. What do you want him to do? Shaq, what would you like him to do? Just play?
Okay.
That's all you got to do, just play.
Pull your jockstrap up and play.
Way to play, Westbrook. Way to play, Westbrook. I don't see no strategy in that. Just pick, go to the whole hard. What you do.
I don't think people wear jockstraps anymore.
Yeah. I ain't making nothing.
That's an excellent point by the Chuck.
Whatever they wear, tights, jockstrap, draws.
There you go. Case, a couple peanut cases.
You see Kevin Durant late in the game had the shoe off on the sidelines. That's the same foot that he had the surgery on in the offseason. 104-89. Oklahoma City never trails as they beat the Dallas Mavericks, and that's 4 straight wins in 6 of their last 7. Rachel Nichols was working the sidelines, and after the game she talked to KD about the foot.
So you took your shoe off at the end of the game and seemed to be sort of massaging it. Can you tell us an update on how you're feeling?
It's a little sore.
I know the doctor said to expect that off and on through the season after the surgery, but is it the first time you've experienced it this much this past week before the All-Star game and now?
Yeah, it's tough, but I figured out. Just got to get through it. Just keep getting treatment and talk to trainers tomorrow and see, what we can do to make it better. So we'll see.
Is taking any time off? Is that possibly what could be in the cards?
I don't really know. I got to talk to them.
All right, Rachel with Kevin Durant after that game, so we kind of stay tuned and see how that plays out. Hennessy never stop, never settle. And, boy, on the boards tonight, Oklahoma City 62-39. They're the #1 rebounding team in the league, and the Mavs are 29th in rebounds allowed. So those stats played out in this one in the 104-89 win for the Thunder over the Mavs. And so this, after those 2 games, is the way the Western Conference looks. The Clippers remain #5. Dallas falls to #6 after the loss to Oklahoma City. And the Thunder passing Phoenix. They have identical records, but the Thunder have taken both meetings over Phoenix this season. The NBA celebrates Chinese New Year with our fans across the world. Happy Year of the Goat from our family to yours. And for the first time in NBA history, teams will wear specially designed Chinese New Year uniforms. The Warriors will debut the uniform on Friday night, while the Rockets will debut theirs on Saturday. It's the Year of the Goat. When we come back, the trade deadline has come and gone. We'll tell you who's coming and going. 37 players in all, changing places. We'll be back. Bleacher Report, flat out awesome. A great site. If you don't have it,
I love it.
Put it on there, man, because they will keep you up to speed on everything that moves in the NBA, and including the trade deadline.
Now that is how you do a trade deadline. It was chaotic, yes, but also incredibly entertaining and so different from last year's deadline. And we have Beck and Bucher here with some winners and losers.
My big winner is the Oklahoma City Thunder because they added depth and toughness to all 3 phases of their roster with Enes Kanter, DJ Augustin, and Kyle Singler. That should solidify their playoff chances. And along the way, GM Sam Presti makes a convincing argument for Kevin Durant, his best player, that he is working for the best GM in the league. Now, my loser is the Denver Nuggets because while they made multiple moves as well, they raised a question with their best player, Ty Lawson, because he heard his name in trade rumors all week. That has to make him question what the long-term plans are for him with this franchise.
Yeah, my winner and loser are joined at the hip or joined at the Dragic. The Miami Heat getting Goran Dragic from the Phoenix Suns. So the Heat a winner here because they've solidified their bid for a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. The Suns a loser here because they had one of the best teams in terms of chemistry last season, and they messed it up. They signed Isaiah Thomas in the offseason. It muddled the works in the backcourt. Dragic then wanted out. demanded the trade. They ended up trading Isaiah Thomas as well. They did get back Brandon Knight, but a change-up in chemistry, and I think weakened themselves at midseason, and I think that Rick Bucher's winner, the Thunder, are going to overtake the Suns for that last playoff spot in the Western Conference.
All right, thank you, fellas. Not a whole lot of, I mean, obviously, Oklahoma City, what they did would stand out. Miami, you know, getting Goran Dragic big, but Oklahoma City with those 4 pickups.
Not only what they did, Ernie, not only just for this year. Kanter, they got the Big McGarry kid. They got Steve.
Yeah, they got some muscle in there now. They got little.
And they're all in their 20s, so they're set for the next 10 years if they get Kevin Durant to stay. I don't know if this guy, Pressure, he said it's the best GM. I might, because R.C. Buford might be that. But Sam Pressey's learning from him, man. He did a fantastic job. You know what's funny? People who talk, I hear these guys on television talking about what if they had a guy. This guy, you don't get a chance to see him play, but I've liked him. He went to Kentucky, never got to play for John Calipari. He's a terrific young player from, I think he's from Turkey. But you don't get to see him because we don't put the Jazz on television. But he's only 22 years old, and he's going to make a huge difference for the next 10 years as a big guy.
And you add Novak into that bunch, too. He's been hurt a lot this year for Utah, but he's played the last 3, and in his last 2 games been like 8 for 11 from deep. He can
flat out shoot. Him and the kid from Detroit, Singler, can flat out shoot it. But listen.
And DJ Augustin, some great minutes for the Pistons. And now
you put Kanter with Ibaka down low, they're going to be beating people up. Because I love the way Ibaka played tonight, going down low. But there was a little small trade, Aaron Afflalo going to Portland. That's really going to help Portland battle Memphis and all these teams in the top half.
Yeah, Portland's bench has been, one of their glaring weak spots, even though they've had good years. But
this guy can flat out play. He's got a great body. But listen, the Miami Heat were big winners too, man. They had getting Dragic. That, like I say, now they got a team for the next 5 or 6 years. Bosh is still relatively young. Luol Deng, Dwayne, obviously he's on the downside of his career. But, man, that was a great trade. And the thing that's amazing about Afflalo, they really didn't give up anything to get him.
Yeah. What you make of what Phoenix did with, we've talked all about their backcourt and Isaiah Thomas and Bledsoe and Dragic, and now all you got out of those 3 is Bledsoe, but then you pick up Brandon Knight from Milwaukee.
After Steve Nash left, you start off by saying Goran Dragic is the next coming of Steve Nash. He's the future of the franchise. Then you draft a point guard and you bring a point guard in. I can understand why he said, I don't trust this organization anymore. But with him going to Miami, it now gives them the ability to run again like they used to run in the past. They're at their best when they can get out the floor and run. And this guy's an excellent floor controller. He's a great player. Real definition of a great player is those that get others involved. And, he's the best when he's, kicking it to D-Wade, kicking it to Bosh. And, he's a great listener. He's a great student of the game. So Miami right now, you have to start talking about them.
Ernie, I don't know what the hell the Suns are doing. I have no idea what they've done. They lose their best player. Anytime you lose your best player, it's not an upgrade. They screwed up their chemistry bringing in Isaiah Thomas, trying to play 3-point guards. Now they lose their best player, and they bring in Brandon Knight.
Yeah.
He's just like Isaiah Thomas. I don't know if him and Bledsoe can play together. So to me, they were the big loser today.
Do you feel the same way about Milwaukee? You're talking about losing your best player, Brandon Knight, but then you bring in Michael Carter-Williams. Yeah, how's that shake out for you?
I think I've said, Chris Paul's the best leader we have in the NBA today. Jason Kidd was the best leader we had for a long time. If you got, think about when the Knicks played well. Who was the leader? He wasn't the same player, but he's got the karma to work with play. He had Carmelo have a great year. He got J.R. Smith to play above his, play like gangbusters. I look at Jason Kidd. He's going to be the point guard whisperer. Yeah. He's going to be great for Michael Carter-Williams. Yeah. He's going to be great for him. And like I say, they're probably going to make the playoffs. He just got to work on his shot a little bit. They're about the same size. And now, man, they got a great nucleus of young players. We love the Greek Freak. They get Jabari back. They're probably going to have another lottery. Well, maybe not a lottery pick. They're probably going to make the playoffs. I thought they had a great day in Milwaukee.
Hey, we spoke about what the Miami Heat did. at the same time, we want to send our best out to Chris Bosh because the word from the Miami Herald is that Chris Bosh was admitted to the hospital in Miami, hasn't been feeling well, and now they're going to do some tests on his lungs. And so that's the latest we've heard from Miami, but certainly send our best out to
Chris is a terrific player and a good guy. Get well, Chris.
Yeah, when we come back, Rachel Nichols sitting down with the NBA's leading scorer and MVP candidate, the Beard, James Harden. Welcome back to Inside. This weekend is your last chance to check out a free trial of NBA League Pass. Saturday, see All-Stars Kyle Lowry and James Harden go head-to-head as the Raptors visit Houston. And Sunday, the East-leading Atlanta Hawks face the up-and-coming Milwaukee Bucks. To watch, go to your TV guide or NBA.com/League Pass. Now let's take a look at the Sprite Dunk of the Week. Shaq, you've got me down pat. Zach LaVine.
Oh, my goodness.
Who else could it be for the Dunk of the Week but the Sprite Slam Dunk champion?
You know, this kid was amazing. I like it that most of his dunks he made were on the first attempt, Ernie.
Yeah,
this kid.
It was exciting.
Very exciting. A lot of his dunks are still on the way up. This kid is young, exciting. He's going to win it next year, too, Ernie.
He will be tough to beat in Toronto next year. Go to NBA.com/dunk to watch and share more of your favorite dunks from the week. Charles and Shaq know that when you're an NBA All-Star, the game itself is just part of a jam-packed agenda. In New York last weekend, amid appointments and appearances, James Harden carved out a few minutes to speak with Rachel Nichols. Here's the Beard on growing up, leadership, and making tough decisions.
You are a player in full right now, a man who has completely come into his own. But I want to take you back. You grew up in the LA area, strong mom, but you had a dad who wasn't around.
I think that toughened me up. You know, it made me stronger. You know, after seeing my mom and how hard she worked, they gave me the will to just try to go out there and just conquer life.
You had a strong sense of self even before you got to the NBA.
Yeah.
You wrote a letter to Sam Presti with the Oklahoma City Thunder when you were going into the draft. What did it say?
Basically, you know, giving the reason why they should draft me. You know, that I would be a good fit.
So it was one of those, hey, take me, I won't let you down type of things?
Yeah, definitely, and it happened.
With the third pick in the 2009 NBA draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select James Harden of Arizona State University.
Making his NBA debut, the number 3 pick, James Harden. And no doubt about it, payoff for Harden.
Well, if he's not the 6th man of the NBA, tell me who is.
When did you start to get the sense of, hey, I could have a different role in this league than maybe the one they see me as? I could be more than they see me as here.
You know, the first 2 years is basically trying to conquer that 6-man role, trying to master that and be the best that I can be.
Harden for 3, yes.
I think it was that third year where I just felt more comfortable. You know, if you're comfortable anywhere, you'll be successful. And I think for me, that was the point.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are headed to the NBA Finals.
I needed to be around the right people. They definitely helped me out a lot, and those 3 years were unbelievable there.
They did not offer you a max deal. They did still offer you a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
You were with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook. It was a safe and comfortable situation. So what was your thinking in turning all that down?
It was probably going to be the most money I've ever made in my life. For me, I was at that point to where I knew what I was worth.
Harden wasn't cooperating. He wouldn't sign. He wanted the max.
When you leave a place, it's not always pretty.
Yeah.
What was it like for you to hear some of that stuff?
It was tough. You know, tough because I'm a very loyal person. You know, I love winning. You know, so just to hear that, it kind of hurt me. But I try not to let it get to me too much and just try to focus on what I can control and just going about my next step in life.
We've been obviously working hard to get back to being a championship contender, and we feel like James Harden is a player we can build around.
Backdoor to Harden. Man, it's good to see a superstar like him, isn't it? Yeah, we got a steal at $80 million.
So what have you learned about yourself since you started at Houston?
So much, you know, how great of a leader I am, you know, and how I continue to grow every single day. You know, you really don't know until you're put in a situation to where you got to go out there and just, you know, do you.
What kind of leader are you?
A great leader.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm vocal.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?
I like to help. You know, I like to lead by example. Just all the great aspects of being a true leader.
You know, there's only one person in NBA history who has won the Sixth-Man Award and the MVP, Bill Walton.
Wow.
Do you think you could maybe be number 2 in that category?
That's great company right there. You know, it's one of the greatest of all time. You know, we'll see. Like you said, coming from the sixth man, nobody really knew I was capable of doing all this. Just got to continue to play at a high level, continue to keep doing the right things, and you know, making sure my team winning.
Here's my question when I watch that. How do you guys define leadership in basketball? Chuck?
Well, it depends. You can't change different people's personality. I was blessed. I've been with great leaders who were vocal. I've been with great leaders who are quiet. So it really depends on your personality. You hear guys talk about this, because a guy's the best player, that doesn't always make him the leader. You know, when I played in Philadelphia, Moses Malone never said a word, but he was like E.F. Hutton. When he spoke, everybody listened. You know, Maurice Cheek never said a lot, but he's the best pure point guard I ever played with. Same thing with Andrew Toney, who's the best player I ever played with. They were great leaders. Bobby Jones was a great leader. But I don't think you can, it's not about your words, it's about your actions.
Ernie, a great leader is one when you have followers. You want your followers to follow you because they want to and not because they have to. And you can do that a lot of ways, vocally. You know, you can just do it by example. I try to lead by example because I know if guys saw me diving in the stands and they knew they had to dive in the stands. So, you know, there's many great ways to be a leader, but, you know, some guys stay silent like Moses Malone and some guys are very loud.
When did you dive in the stands?
All the time.
I don't mean for nachos, I meant for the basketball.
Google me.
Yeah.
You mean nacho ring that you didn't win?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Ernie, that was a good one.
Yeah, it wasn't a good one.
It was a good one.
Making me miss Kenny.
When we, you look around the league right now and you see a lot of guys who have been impacted over the last 24 hours by some news that we got out of Portland about Jerome Kersey. 52 years old, and apparently a blood clot from his calf went to his lungs, and a guy who on Tuesday was speaking to students and telling them to be thankful on Wednesday was gone.
You know, Ernie,
you guys know them both. Shaq, you were a teammate of Jerome's in L.A. for a season, and Charles, I mean, put it into words for me.
It was a really good friend of mine. I got a text last night in the middle of the night, said, "Sorry to hear about your friend. Rest in peace, Jerome Kersey." And I said, "What?" I sent the text back, "What?" It was a friend of mine from the West Coast said Jerome Kersey passed away. And then I clicked on the internet, and Ernie, I cried so hard last night because I'd known Jerome really well. And, you know, obviously playing against him for 10, 15 years, somewhere in that range. But also every time I went to Portland for Nike, we would always have dinner and have drinks together. And I just cried. It hurt me so. I feel so bad. I know he's got a wife and 4 young daughters, but I just cried. And I don't get emotional a lot, but I just cried. I felt so bad.
My condolences go out to his family and, you know, everybody else in Portland. I had the chance to play with him 1 year, and he was 34 years old. He was older. I was always a fan of his, but what I admire about him, even at 34, he just played so hard. He just went out and played balls out every night. You know, he showed up. He was professional, and, you know, he taught me a lot. Like, you know, for me, the things that got me to the next level wasn't about practicing, it was about information. So, like, if I'm playing a guy a certain way, being that he was a veteran and being that he's, you know, been a great player most of his career, he would give me certain information to help my game out. And, you know, he's definitely going to be missed. You know, he was a great man and a great teammate.
And, you know, Ernie, you know, you know, Shaq's #1 pick in the draft. I went later to that. This guy came out of Longwood College.
Yeah.
I don't even know what division that is. And to be able to play a long, distinguished NBA career.
And have an impact.
But just a nice guy. Like I say, man, I really cried hard last night. And like I said, I'm not an emotional guy. I mean, it was just an awful situation. And the NBA is such a tight-knit family. I didn't even know Jerome played with Shaq. And we have such, you bump into guys all the time. You just can't, it's amazing, man. And my condolences to his wife and his 4 daughters, but also, I've always said this, the Portland Trailblazers had the best fans in the NBA. When they had that little small arena, it was always, they had the best fans. And I know they're suffering today. I got a bunch of texts from people in Portland says they couldn't believe it. And I was like, I can't believe this either. So
he wore number 25 with the Blazers. And the guy who wears number 25 for the Blazers now is Steve Blake, and he has gotten approval from the league to change numbers. He's not going to wear 25 anymore. In honor of Jerome, he's switching to number 5. But
you know, and I want to say something to another one of my teammates, Mike Jaminski. He lost his fiance this week. And, man, it's been a tough week. And I just, Mike, you know I love you like a brother, and I'm sorry to hear that. And now to compound that with Jerome, man, it's just been a tough week for people I really care about.
Yeah. And I want to say get well soon, Anthony Mason.
Yes, get well, Mace.
52 years old, Jerome Kersey, taken from us way too soon. Welcome back to Inside, presented by Kia. That music can only mean one thing. March Madness is just around the corner.
Yeah, sadly.
Sunday the 15th, the selection show on CBS. The first 4 starts Tuesday. And you can, again, catch it on TBS, CBS, TNT, and True TV.
This is turning into like a real job, Arnie.
It certainly is. Hey, the Jack and Triumph show is going to premiere on Friday night at 11:30 Eastern on Adult Swim, starring Jack McBrayer and, of course, Triumph, the insult comic dog. So catch it on Adult Swim.
Catch it.
We just happen to have Triumph here.
It's just a coincidence that you were talking about the Jack and Triumph show, and I'm here.
It's amazing.
Who would have guessed? No synergy.
What can you tell me about the about the show?
No one gives a shit. They're here to hear about basketball, right?
Right you are.
I'm not going to make these Hall of Fame guys listen to about.
Well, just for the record, hey. Just for the record, only one of us at the Hall of Fame.
So far, please.
Well, we don't live in the future. We live in the present.
That's how you got one on Shaq, that he's younger than you.
That's exactly what I got. And I'm going to hold on to it as long as I can.
Triumph, sick 'em, boy.
Enjoy it while it lasts, Chuck.
Thank you. I am going to enjoy it. He always brags about them little rings he got.
Rings?
Riding on Kobe's jockstrap.
Some of his rings
4 of them.
Riding on Kobe's jockstrap.
Yep, 4 of them.
Okay.
Riding on Kobe's jockstrap. Forget that, man. It's all Shaq.
Like you living on Lassie.
No, well, I literally lived on Lassie. I stood that bitch
you know that.
years.
We wouldn't even know dog's name if it wasn't for Lassie.
Oh, please. I humped my way to the top. I don't deny it.
How about Rin Tin Tin?
Listen, I had some fun with Yoo-Hoo and Mango.
Oh! Okay.
Hold on.
You're hitting a little close to home.
That's a little close to the vest right there.
Chuck, they're just dogs, Chuck.
They're not just dogs. They're like family members who don't beg for money. Seriously, you don't talk about Mango and Yoo-Hoo like that.
Did she smile at you with those ugly teeth?
You know, I usually don't see her face when I'm with her.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, Chuck. It's totally natural, Chuck. It's the way of the world. Happy birthday, buddy. You're going to be 52 tomorrow.
I am going to be 52 tomorrow.
Your age will finally match your body fat percentage. I'm sorry. Chuck, I'm an insult comic. I have to do this. Ernie, honestly, what is the bow tie for? Are you worried they won't be able to pick you out among the black guys? He got Shaq.
I'm just waiting for it. Come on.
Speak up, Shaq.
Come on. Here it comes.
Please stop the mumbling, Shaq. Please.
All right.
Speak up. You're going to give the closed captioning people a heart. Seriously, Shaq? Shaq, honestly, I love you, but Charlie Brown's teacher is easier to understand. What?
Do you spend much time on the internet?
On the computer.
On the computer, yeah.
Yes, I watch my share of dog pornography.
KennyTheJetSmith.com is a worthwhile site to check out.
Really?
Yeah, but he doesn't spend a lot of time on that. He spends all his time on this next website.
That's the next website. Let's see what that is.
Yes.
I bet it's...
CharlesBarkley.com.
It's not bad, Chuck.
It's very dog friendly.
It is dog friendly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it like this. I'm gonna start a new reality show, The Triplets. You and Mango and you.
I like that. They can co-star in some of the movies I watch too. I watch.
Hey! Ease up on Mango and you.
Well, I recommend do a favor for them and buy them some doggy porn. Air Bud Golden Receiver. Excellent movie.
Shaq.com is also available.
Website ever right here.
Yeah.
Oh, now that's a website.
That's right.
That actually looks like it has information on it. Kenny's is all about suits.
Yes,
it's all about fashion.
Style. Yeah. Triumph, the insult comic dog. It has been a unique.
It has been a pleasure and a disaster.
Hey, Mango and you.
There's Mango and you.
Picture of Mango and you.
I'm saying it to them, not you. You don't say anything.
See you bitches later.
We're coming back, I think, on Inside the NBA, presented by Kia.
Nice knowing you, America. We will be dropped after this segment.
Mango.
It was nice knowing you.
Mango. Why did you tease me, Mango?
The NBA is presented by the all-new Sorrento from Kia, the official automotive partner of the NBA.
We have taken our show here to Madison Square Garden, where they're getting ready for the 64th NBA All-Star Game.
Hello, New York City. CP, what's up, baby?
And speaking of New York City, you're a West Coast guy. What's your favorite part about NYC? The All-Star Pop-A-Shot Challenge.
And I forgot the rest.
I knew it.
Okay, me. Talking about me. Okay, never mind.
You have some of the most talented, up-and-coming superstars of the future here in this game tonight, so I'm ready for it.
I can rap also. Not going to do it now. It's secret and hidden.
Inside Stuff, presented by Samsung Galaxy. Check it out with Kristen Ledlow and Grant Hill, Saturdays at noon on NBA TV.
It's time for
EJ's Neto Saturday Night.
Presented by no one.
Come on, Ernie.
Oh, come on, don't blame me. This date in NBA history. February the 19th of 1996, Chuck becomes the 10th player in NBA history with 20,000 points and 10,000 rebounds. Wow. And now, since then, there are 16 who have done that. Still, that's quite something to be proud of there.
I'm very proud of that stat.
Sir Charles.
You're not in the list, are you?
Of course I am, Chuck. What kind of question is that?
Meantime, on February 20th, 1963.
Oh, that was a monumental day.
It was, and you may have heard Triumph reference this earlier, that yes, Charles, 52 years old on Friday. 52 years old on Friday.
Thank you.
And so we're very happy to
happy birthday, Chuck.
Wow,
and I think there's only one way to salute an Auburn guy, and that would be like this. Ready?
Chuck. Thank you. Thank you to the Auburn family. Oh, my God, that's pretty cool.
Happy 52.
Thank you,
Chuckster.
52.
That's pretty
Yes,
cool. Yeah,
indeed.
Shaq.
Look at that cake. What
Man.
kind? No, you can't dive into that there, mascot. Hobby.
Yeah.
Do that.
Oh, but you can. No. I'll tell you about it later.
Speech, Charles.
No, man, it's been a great 52 years. I've been 16 years with you guys. It's been a blessing. You know, Auburn, you guys know what Auburn means to me. Anytime I travel the country and the world, people scream War Eagle to me. It's pretty special. So glad to make it to 52. Little kid from Leeds, Alabama. Thank y'all very much.
It is our pleasure. Hey, band, can we do that one more time to send us off the air?
Here we go.
With one of the best fight songs in the country.
One,
I
two,
might add.
ready.
Second best.